Well, hello there, citizens of Internet Land. This is Matt Petrowski bringing you another tutorial video where we're taking a look at some technology or doing something really nerdy, QWERTY. Get it? We're going to be taking a look at some internet deals today. We're going to be finding out how you can do this on your iOS device on mobile. We're going to load that up and we're going to see how you can find some deals pretty quickly with some Google hack and a really nice app called Workflow. Let's take a look. All right, so here we go. So for the first thing that you need to know a little bit of a Google Fu, or Kung Fu as I'd like to call it. So here in my search bar, I'm in Safari, I'm going to use some of the Google keywords that you can in order to narrow things down. So for this video, I like a lot of backpacking gear. I'm a backpacker, I love going out, and searching a couple of the sites that offer deals is really pretty nice. So if we go to rei.com, REI is one of your big retailers. Obviously, probably most of you know about that unless you're international. But REI has this area where if we scroll down here, it's called REI Garage. You can see right there. Now that's where they're running their deals and their clearance. Now the first thing we're going to do is we click on this and it loads and I zoom back out here. We are going to notice in the URL that it has this value of REI Garage. Now that's going to be important whenever we're looking at websites because any website is typically using part of their URL in order to store or classify things. Now Google goes out, Google searches these URLs, but we can use these URLs when we search Google. So if you've never done this before, what we can do is we can limit our search when we search Google specifically to these particular items. First, this site. So if I basically take off all of this stuff and put in the qualifier of site, rei.com, and then I put in URL, we get REI Garage. So we now just need to specify our term. You can see that I've actually done one right here, such as Patagonia, or let's just put in backpack. So what this is going to do is this is going to search Google looking specifically at Google to limit the site to REI and then also to limit all results to anything that has the REI Garage within the URL looking for the keyword backpack. And that's exactly how it's going to work. I do the search and then I get all of Google's results. So now let's take a look at how we're going to do this with mobile. Many times I'm out and I'm not at my main desktop here. I'm not at my laptop. I basically have an iPad or I have my iPhone or I have something else. I want to be able to, I've got some spare time. I want to be able to do the search really quickly. So taking a look at my iPad, what you can see is I'm going to open up, I've got a little grouping of items down here at the bottom and it says tools. Now right there is workflow. And when we open Workflow, what you're going to see is you're going to see this REI Garage search. Now, as I open that, we're going to take a little bit of a look at Workflow. Now, Workflow is a really awesome iOS app. In fact, it will work across all of your devices. If you have an iPhone, an iPad, an iPad Pro, which I'm on right now, it will synchronize all of your workflows across all of the devices. And the cool thing is you can basically make these work no matter where you are in iOS. You can put them on your desktop. That basically saves them as a little web clipping. You can also put them in the share area of the applications you use. So for example, down here at the bottom, we can see that we've got normal, today widget, or action extension. So you can basically make these things work in different contexts in iOS. And we'll take a look at how those work. I like to leave mine as a today widget, and I'll show you why. And also you can see right here in the sequence of steps, I'm basically doing exactly what Workflow provides me with. Now, as I scroll over here, you can see that there are tons, I mean, literally tons of different options of what you can do within Workflow. And I highly suggest you take the time to look at some of the examples within their gallery. You can access that. I'll click done here. You can see up at the very top, I'm going to click on gallery and a ton of things will load. In fact, one of my recent favorites is this one right here in the middle of the screen, the camel, which is brilliant for being able to find the prices on products on Amazon. We'll take a look at that. But for right now, let's say we want to search REI, but we want to do it on mobile and we want to do it pretty quickly. So I've got this REI Garage. It's going to ask me a question. What's the product name? You can see that I'm setting a variable, step number 2, to whatever the query is. What am I looking for? And then right there in that text object, that's where you can see that I put the exact same thing we just looked at in the browser there. Site, REI, in URL, REI Garage. Now I want you to think about this. There are a ton of sites out there that offer all kinds of different deals. And if you want to be able to search them, then of course you can use this type of method to do it. But on top of that, we're going to take a look at a cool technique to do this using Google, which will automatically email you the information as well. And then finally, we've got our search web at the bottom right there. So for me, pretty easily, I'm in my iOS device. I've got a little bit of time. I'm at a, I don't know, doctor's office or something. I swipe to the side. Now, here is my dashboard, and you can see right here on workflow, I can show more. I've got all these different items right here. Now I can scroll up, and it's that link at the very bottom right there where it says manage workflows. What that allows you to do is on that dashboard, or whatever Apple calls it, I forget, you can actually select which items you want to show up and which ones you don't. So I'll turn all of these off, and I'll leave camel there, and REI Garage. And so we're done now. So thanks. I had to clean that up. I'm sure you didn't want to watch that, but there we go. It's a lot more manageable now. I just basically say REI Garage. It's going to come up. It's going to open workflow. It's going to prompt me for the product name. So let's say I'm looking for an Osprey bag. Osprey, go do it for me. Workflow. It opens up, does your search for you, and there you go right there. Everything that includes the word Osprey on the page in the URL of REI Garage on the REI site. Boom, I'm ready and looking at all of my deals. I don't have to waste a lot of time looking through a bunch of stuff. Hey, if you like browsing, go ahead, browse. But that is our first option in being able to find deals and doing it quickly and easily. All right, so we've taken the time to actually go out and do some bargain hunting ourselves. Now we want to find out whether or not we're getting a good deal. Now on screen, what I have in front of you is the website camel.com. Now, if you haven't gone to this website, it is a great way to find out on Amazon whether you're getting the best deal possible. It's a very cool service. You can sign up and you can actually track products, or it will notify you when products hit a certain point if you want, sort of like a stock watching app. But what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can do this on mobile. First, let's do it on desktop. The way that it works is typically you're going to have this URL after you've gone to Amazon. You're looking for a product. And then there's this code right here. Now, I believe Camel uses just this code. In fact, if you go over here and just paste in that code directly, it should look it up. And what's most valuable is this chart down at the bottom, this price history chart, where you can look at what the prices have been. Now, if you're going to pay $310, you're paying too much because you're paying the most that you can for this product. If you're lucky enough to get it for $201.44 for some reason on Amazon that one day or whatever, or $215, maybe that was an error. The lower price range, if you're in this range, $230, you're doing really pretty good. And what was it listed at for us? We hadn't selected a size. Let's go ahead and go for one just to see. Oh, $215.40. We are currently at the best price for this product, unless you get that 201, that it has been in a long time, at least for history. Now, it could be they're bringing out a new one, and this is an older product, but we want to be able to do this on mobile as well. So quit yakking, Matt, and get over to the mobile side of things. So I'm going to bring my iPad on screen here, and I want to talk about, here's the process. I am typically watching some type of YouTube video. So as I go into my watch section and open up YouTube, I have a video loaded there. There are these things on the world of backpacking. I don't know if you watch for beauty supplies or who knows, whatever you're looking for. You're probably a geek and you're like, what the heck? You're telling me beauty supplies? That's my girlfriend, dude. Or if you're a girl, you're probably saying, that's not my boyfriend, beauty supplies. Anyway. So I'm watching a video, and as I watch the video, when you're on mobile, you're sitting there on the couch or bus stop or wherever you are, what's really nice is you can bring out on iOS this split screen on an iPad that'll support it. I'm not going to list all the versions or the models that do. If you've got one, then you know it's there. If not, then just try to drag out from the side and you'll be able to see whether it happens. So I'm looking at a product here and I want to be able to actually use that same feature here on mobile that we just did on desktop. This little share icon right here, what you can do is you can run workflows directly off of an Amazon page that you're on. Now this camel won't work with the Amazon app, but it will work if you're looking at the product within a web browser. You need the URL basically. So basically do your side-by-side, watch your video, you're looking at stuff, you want information about it, split screen, go to your Safari, go to Amazon in Safari, and then at the end here, we scroll at the very end, you see that more button right there that I'm tapping on? In there, you're going to see one of these options, which is right there in the middle, Run Workflow. So when we add that, we're going to find that option right here of Run Workflow. That's what we want to actually use. So I'm going to tap that. It'll come up with all of my workflows that are specified as action extensions within workflow. So there we go, camel. Thanks to the author who created that, it opens up the web page right next to the other page, and you're basically able to do your price inspection right here. Look at what you've got in terms of the pricing and say, hey, I'm probably getting a pretty good deal. Now, this is a totally different one than the one we were looking at, but I think you get the point in terms of being able to do your research. You can make that smaller, make it bigger, do whatever you want to do, and make sure you're getting a good deal. All right, and for the final part, our last tip in this finding deals on the internet using mobile and desktop, I guess now too. Basically, we want to set up some automated searches for us. In other words, quit doing the legwork yourself. You're working on a computer. Automate things. We've seen that we can actually search for specific things on a site looking for within a URL. So you can see right here as I zoom in, site, rai.com, in URL, REI Garage, Osprey Exos 48. So that's one thing that I've been looking for, this particular bag, trying to find a good deal, waiting until the price is right, checking camel, and basically this is it. All you have to remember is this word right here. If you can remember that you're logging into google.com, which I know you can, just put in the /alerts. When you go to that, that's basically going to open up this page where you're going to be able to create an alert based on any search query you could ever think of. So as I edit this and we zoom in, we can take a look at some of the settings. How often do you want it to happen? I always choose as it happens if I'm looking for a specific deal. Otherwise, you can do at most once a day and at most once a week. I think this one is the default. If you're really anxious, do as it happens. Sources. It comes and it defaults to automatic, but who cares about blogs, news, video, books, or discussions unless those are specific to what you're looking for. Most of the time, you're looking for deals on the web. Language, you're going to specify yours. Region, mine is United States. Only the best results, or you can get all of them if there are a lot of them, and then where you want it delivered to. You will get an email item. Now, here's a bonus tip. If you are familiar with this particular website right here, pushover.net, and let's say you want to be notified on your phone via an SMS-like notification. This is another iOS app that you can get, Google or on App Store, and basically you can set it up so that when the email from Google hits your inbox, you set up a filter or something that will forward that email to your pushover address. And so even if you're not checking your email, bing, bing, it comes up on your phone, and you know within a very short period of time of when something comes on in a deal that you're going to have access to that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you one other option, and that is setting up a new alert, or we'll take a look at it. So let's say, for example, that is my specific search looking at a specific site and their specific deals. If you wanted something a little more general for this particular query, I would put in something like Exos 48 within quotes so that it finds that specific phrase or a grouping of words. You can see that Google bolds them, and it's finding a number of them, finding review, Exos, blah, 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 blah. But the trick here is basically think about what the I'm trying to think of what I call them. The vendors actually list their products at when they are on sale. hint, 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 on sale. So I'm just going to add on sale in quotes. And basically it should find those particular items. Now I can see right here, it's like this review says on sale, and that's finding a web hit that I don't necessarily want. So again, we're going to use our operators, and basically when you use your items that your Google search can do in order to limit things, you sometimes take yourself out. So this isn't as precise as looking specifically at a particular site. But if I didn't want to see reviews, I could basically put in -review, and you can see that it's going to take that out. So the whole key here is to look for keyword phrases based on what the retailers actually will put on their sale pages, like on sale, great deal, stuff like that. Doing those combinations of words means that you're going to be able to see things come up. And again here, these are blogs that are listed, and I can filter it just down to web specifically and ignore all of the blogs or all of the noise and chatter. Create your alert. And there you go. An email is going to be sent off. Again, remember, you need to actually modify those settings if you want to get it as it happens and you want it only on the web, and you want, I'm going to go United States only, and I'll take all results and update my alert. There you go. After you create it, you are good to go. You'll get notified. And that, my friend, is how you're going to find good deals on the internet using mobile and desktop too. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time in the next video from QWERTY.com.